Mashed potatoes! What's going on, everybody, and welcome into Talk Birdie to me. I'm Connor Roundtree, joined today by our golf analyst, Spencer Burke, and we're here to break down the Open Championship, the 150th version of the Open Championship from the old course at St. Andrews. And Spencer, something about that sentence just sounds right.
150th Open St. Andrews, the home of golf, buddy. Does it ever? Just the history of this place. You saw it throughout the last couple days even. Tiger was playing a practice round with Rory yesterday. Lee Trevino's there. The Golden Bear taking a picture with Tiger on the bridge. Like, it doesn't get much better. I'm stoked for this week. Probably not going to be getting too much work done in the next couple days.
7,313 yards, par 72, and the key stats are, well, it's links golf. We're in Scotland, the home of golf, the old course. You're going to need to hit the ball really far, and you're going to need to be able to clean up around those greens. Massive greens, mind you, so lots of lag putting this week. 3-putt avoidance will be absolutely crucial. And remember, a couple drivable par 4s, so if you can get those big sticks going, you're going to have opportunities to go low. Now, before we break down the field, folks, if you want to play like the pros that we're about to talk about this week, head on up to the Bogey Club, Premier Golf Simulator and Lounge. They have the old course, so you can go and play the old course right now. The link is below. All right, it's time to get into the favorites, but before we do that, Tiger talk. Earlier this week, there was a bunch of rumors going around that Tiger Woods was going to retire, but he shot all of those down earlier Tuesday morning.
Well, you were texting me earlier in the week, and you said, hey, I think Tiger might retire, and I had a good idea. I'm not an insider, but, I mean, there's just no way. But he is putting it all on the line, Tree, for this week, the final major of the year. You know, his knee, his leg is still banged up, but he's done everything he can just to get his body in shape to play at St. Andrews, a course that he knows better than anyone else. He's already played like 3 or 4 practice rounds. He's going to take probably from now until the Masters off, he might take after this tournament. So Tiger's playing this week. The Live guys are playing, but no, he's not retiring, so pump the brakes, buddy.
Hey, man, I'm just so happy to have Tiger Woods in the field just to face off against those Live guys. I love that you brought up that point. You know, Greg Norman not getting invited to the dinner. He's won the Open twice, he just gets snubbed because of all the drama that he could potentially bring, and he would. But could you imagine Greg Norman on Twitter if one of those Live guys wins this week?
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get into this a little bit later, too. All those Live guys in the field. I'm glad they are in the field because it's bringing more popularity to the week, more storylines. And there's also what people are talking about on Twitter and golf betting accounts is the Live discount, where these guys are actually getting better odds just because they don't think, the odds makers, I guess, think they've played in high enough level competition lately to compete at least at a solid price at the Open.
And some of us, like myself, think rightfully so, because you have to deal with this guy, the favorite, and my God, for my bottom dollar, he should be. It is Rory McIlroy. He hasn't finished outside of the top 20 since the Valero, Texas Open. That's 7 straight top 20s with 4 top 5s and a win in Canada. He has the most strokes gained in the field over the last 24 rounds, and he's gained at least 2.5 strokes on approach in the last 2 events. Look, he's a beast with his driver already. He's been cleaning up around the greens. If he gets hot with his putter, we saw him knock down putts left, right, and center at the RBC Canadian Open. For all intents and purposes, he's Northern Irish. This is his home major, if you will. So I really think Rory will bring it here, and he's got the course history as well, Spencer.
Yeah, 3 top 10s in all majors this year, and like you said, course history. In 2010, this was the last time Rory played at St. Andrews. He opened with that infamous 63, followed up with an 80. Ultimately came, I think, T3. That was the year Louis Oosthuizen won it. He was supposed to play back in 2015, but he had an injury. That was during a dominant season as well. So he's hungry to get back here. And yes, he should be by far the betting favorite this week. saying that, 11-1, I just can't do it. I love where his game's at. You mentioned his wedges have gotten a lot better. This is the one guy who I'm not betting on that I would be okay if he wins. I would love to see Rory win another major. It's been too long. He's been such a great ambassador for the game through all this live tour stuff as well, and just probably the most likable guy on tour. One thing I will say about Rory that I might like a little bit more, and I may sprinkle, first round leader 23-1. As I mentioned, that opening round 63 in 2010. I know that's a heck of a long time ago, but his game's in the top shape, so I may throw a couple bucks on that.
And I do remember when we were breaking down the U.S. Open, here's a fun Rory stat. Every time he's won a major, he's actually led after the first round. I do believe, or it's all but one. You guys can check that, but that's a nice little bet piece there. I really like that on Rory. And one more thing I will add is he has an opportunity to stick it to Greg Norman again with those live guys in the field. Rory's a passionate guy. He's been very outspoken. I like Rory to bring some fire this week. Another guy that we have to touch on just because of popularity is Scottie Scheffler. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a heck of a golfer, but I won't be touching him in any format. He missed the cut last week. I mean, last time he did miss a cut, he finished runner-up the very next week, right? So he does have that bounce-back game, but coming off a miscut, going into the Scottish Open, the depth of this field, the value just isn't there for me, and I will not be touching Scottie Scheffler, no matter how good he has been to us here at Sports Tree this season.
Yeah, Scottie Scheffler, Player of the Year, hands down. It's not even close. But you wonder if fatigue is finally going to creep in. Saying that, we doubted him at Augusta. He came in there with, I think, wins in his last 3 of 4 events. We're like, no way he can do this. Wins the green jacket. So
I took him at Augusta.
Well, there you go. I did not. But I can't do it either. I may be in the wrong again for doubting Scottie because of the year he's had. But my favorite this week, I've told you the last few days, it's Jordan Spieth, around 19-1. He's so comfortable here. He loves links golf, man, and his game is rounding into shape. The Scottish Open last week, he was in contention. A late double bogey kind of threw him out. But would it surprise anyone here if the Golden Child was holding the claret jug at the end of the week?
No, because, and you touched on it, it's the creativity that Jordan Spieth brings to link-style golf. And we were talking about before we come on air, these bunkers, these pot bunkers, it's basically a penalty stroke if you go in there.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that could go in and get up and down or possibly we've seen him hole insane bunker shots. So he has the creativity to find his own way around St. Andrews. And that's one of the things I love about watching link-style golf is it's so wide, it's so open. You're going to see guys attack it in so many different ways. We talked about drivable par 4. Some guys are going to let the big dog eat. I think that's going to be key for Rory this week. But guys like Jordan Spieth may want to lay it up a bit and shoot that 100-yard shot away. So you're going to see a lot of different styles, but I'm all over that Jordan Spieth pick as well. I think the creativity, and I'll be following you to Sprinkletown there.
And just a quick nugget, sorry, before I let you go off here, just the stat I got on Spieth. 42 under par at the Open Championship since 2015, 16 strokes better than anyone in the field. So give me the Golden Child this week. He's my guy. I've been talking about him all week, so I can't not back him up.
That just got me really excited. Oh me, oh my. Now, someone I'm not excited about, someone that you guys might want to bet on, I'm going to tell you not to right now. Jon Rahm, he's my fade of the week. He's lost strokes off the tee in 2 of his last 3 starts. Not very Jon Rahm-like. We need a driver this week. We just talked about that. And he lost 3 strokes putting last week. No driver, no flat stick, no big Spaniard for Connor.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go with Rahm either, just at those odds. You just...
Yeah. All right, moving on. Justin Thomas, he's another guy that people are going to be talking about. He was one of my 3 picks last week. If you bought the pick package, you are well aware of that. He missed the cut. Thomas is a fiery guy, but he's lost strokes with his putter in 3 out of his last 4 events. Usually something that he leans on. He's a clutch putter. He's one of those fiery kind of guys. And if that flat stick isn't going, I don't see JT being in contention. So I'll also be avoiding JT in the fade category.
Yeah, and I'm just going to move on now a little deeper because we've touched on a lot of the favorites, and you can't just hit on all those guys because you're not going to come out with profit at the end of the week. So I'm digging a little deeper now.
I love it.
I'm going Tony Finau. He's around 50-1 on most books. He hasn't missed a cut at the Open, which also includes a couple top 10s as well. His game's rounding into shape at the right time. It's playing firm and fast out here. So this is actually going to bring some shorter guys into the mix, say like a Kevin Kistner who may not normally compete. saying that, length is still a huge asset here at St. Andrews. We know this guy's got it. The fairways are a little wider too. He can get sporadic with his driver at times, but this course sets up really good for Tony. Obviously, it comes down to his putting. We all know that, but he's flying a little under the radar here as well, which I think is good for the big man. And if you don't trust him enough to take him as an outright winner, which a lot of people, I understand why you don't, take him top 10. They don't call him top 10 Tony for no reason.
I think there might be a sprinkle there as a sleeper. I've been doing some research on Tony Finau as well, and here's a fun fact. He's gained the third most strokes against the field over the last 24 rounds. Out of everybody in this field, he has the third most strokes gained over the last 24 rounds. So Finau, you said his game's rounding into form. The proof is in the pudding. The stats are backing that up, and that plus 40 to 1, 45 to 1?
Yeah, 45 to 50 on most books right now. I got him at 50 to 1.
Yeah, that's a sweet spot. Another guy that I want to talk about is Tommy Fleetwood in that neighborhood, coming in about 50 to 1. Finished T4 last week, a top 10 at the European Open, top 5 at the PGA Championship, another top 10 at the RBC Heritage, and a T14 at the Masters. This kid is on the well, he's not a kid anymore. He's older than me, but he's on the precipice of winning. And he's won in Europe before. No, he's not won overseas, but I hate to tell you, the Open's a European tournament.
Yeah, and Tommy Fleetwood, I mean, I don't know if you're done your point there, but I'm going to steal it from you for a second. I think he's hoping that the weather gets a little chillier this week because we've spoke about it before. He plays good in really difficult conditions, especially when you have to control your trajectory. You can almost see it with his swing. It's a little abbreviated follow-through, little knockdowns. So when the wind picks up, Tommy gets better. So I like your Tommy pick this week as well. Yeah,
and we were looking at the wind, everybody, and Spencer noted coming in that the wind was supposed to be really shy this week, but that's Scottish weather reporting. It changes like a flick of a dime. Anything can happen, and guys like Rory that are used to these conditions, guys like Tommy Fleetwood are going to be guys that are going to have scoreable opportunities no matter where the wind takes them. Now, just another guy that I did want to touch on because of his play. He's up in the 20 to 1 range. Is just Cam Smith. I'm not going to be playing him this week, but I think people should be very keep an eye on Cam Smith. He gained 6.91 strokes on the field putting last week, and his putter has been his downfall. We've seen him miss a lot of really close putts, and that's cost him championships this season. If that putter's going well on these big greens, three putt avoidance, that's his thing. And Cam Smith could be a serious factor heading into this weekend. And I think it's time to get into our best bet, Spencer. And here's my best bet, guys.
Wait, just before you get into the best bet, I apologize. Let's go one sleeper, just because I know you're.
I tried to actually just cut this from the rundown.
Because you're gonna laugh at this one, and I gotta throw it out there. The disrespect he's getting, and yeah, you're gonna throw out some stats. Why? But at 100 to 1, I know it's been a massive fall from grace. I don't like this guy.
Grace?
He's a geek. He's a weirdo. He's a major champion. Bryson DeChambeau, 100 to 1. I'm throwing some pizza money on him. I don't even want to cheer for him, but I have to. And as mentioned before, the live discount, normally this guy should be 60, maybe 70 tops, but 100 to 1, bombs away out here. I know his downfall is his putting and his wedging, and it's going to require a little bit of that, but if he's in the mix, he's showed more than a couple times he's capable of winning. You keep looking at me like that. I don't want Bryson to necessarily win, but couple dominoes bucks on Mr. DeChambeau, one of the faces of the Live Tour. It would be good for the game if this meathead is in the mix on Sunday.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you why he's 100 to 1. His last 5 PGA starts, he missed 4 cuts. I don't think the tour really misses him all that much, to be honest with you. Yes, you did bring up a great point. He's one of the hardest workers in the game, and I will respect Bryson DeChambeau for that. But if there's any wind whatsoever, he's going to be hunting through that Scottish fescue, laddie, and he's going to miss the cut again. And
I never said I respected him.
I respect his drive towards the game. I respect the effort that he puts forward, but from decisions to comments that he's made, I don't have a lot of time for Bryson. I'm not a fan. And you can actually sprinkle to miss the cut, so he's going to put his pizza money. We'll reconvene next week or next time that Spencer's back with us for Talk Birdie to Me, and we'll reconvene. I'm actually going to sprinkle the Bryson miss the cut at plus 137. I'll throw a 0.5 of a unit on it, just to have
You
some
and me
fun
can
here
do a
with
little
Spencer.
side bet on that as well.
I don't like. I believe in my true Scottish ancestors and the grace of the game that there's going to be a little bit of wind and a little bit of controversy on this old course, and that Bryson is going to be hunting his golf ball like a fox hunt in the good old UK.
Well, we've talked enough. I didn't even mean to talk about him this long, so I'm sorry. I clearly got you a little rattled though, which is good. But yeah, let's move on to.
We love a little controversy. Lots of points going back and forth, and now we get to really lock in with our best bets of the weekend.
Let's do it.
I'm stoked for this one, guys. We rode Xander Schauffele last week. If you bought the pick package, you won with us again. Our 6th win of the season. Xander got the job done. And let me tell you why I'm going back to the well with Xander here. Not only is he my best bet, not only was he my best bet to finish top 20 last week, but the guy has won. Last 3 times he's teed it up, he's won. I know the charity event in Ireland doesn't technically count.
Yeah, still
but
a good field.
Still, he won. It's the JP McManus. He won it. The guy dominates in Celtic countries. I'm all over this. He's gained over 10 strokes putting in his last 2 starts, and he's gained over 5 strokes off the tee in that same span. He's not only passing my eye test, he's passing the stat test, and the bookies, for whatever reason, are giving you dash 110. Same price as last week. Get on it right now. Dash 110 for Xander to finish in the top 20. That was our best bet last week. I'm not only picking him to win again this week as one of my 3 picks to win, I'm riding that best bet to the well. Thanks for tuning in. That's my pick. Spencer, I know what you got.
Yeah,
and just lay it on me. I'm so jacked up for this one.
Just quickly, and this is probably more for me as an entertainment value as well.
No, I'm following this
because
one.
we're all cheering for the guy in red. He's at St. Andrews. He's made both cuts in the 2 majors he's played this year. He works he works when he's on the course harder than anybody. So I don't think he's going to be in contention, but give me the GOAT to make the cut minus 125 all day long. Yeah,
Tiger Woods to make the cut. He looks like he's in great spirits. We saw him fire a ball at Rory McIlroy when they were playing that practice round together earlier this week. It's a good spot for Tiger. And just with all those retirement rumors around the industry and just on Twitter and from fans and whatnot, wouldn't it be great if he just went out and fired like a top 10, top 20? The problem is I don't see his knee holding up through the entire 4 days, but to make the cut, if you're trying to tell me that Tiger isn't one of the top 75 golfers in the world, I'm going to dispute that. I love Tiger to make the cut. I love that pick, Spencer. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to Talk Birdie to Me. One last quick note. If you want to bet outright winners, follow a couple of our bets, follow the Jordan Spieths, follow the Xanders, follow the Rorys, well, then make sure you do it on PointsBet. They have a power hour tomorrow night. I believe it's 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you check it out, PointsBet Power Hour. It'll boost all those odds. It's just, why not? That's what we're here for. We're here to give you guys the best information and the best odds possible. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree. That's Spencer Burke. Thanks for joining us on Talk Birdie to Me. We'll talk birdie to you next time.